friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna revisit my fidget toy project, and this is because I've been asked by quite a few people to make one that has a handle or like a small stick to play with. So this is what I'm gonna do in this video. If you've already seen my first video, I think you should still watch this because I'm gonna be creating this fidget in a slightly different way. And hopefully I can teach you a few more tricks along the way. So let's jump into Fusion 360 and start designing. I'm going to start this project by creating a sketch, and I'm going to create the sketch onto this plane. And onto this sketch I'm going to make my first shape, and I want to create a star. So I'm going to take a line. I'm going to go from the center point. I'm going to go up. I just want a line to use as a mirror line. So my next line is going to be, let's say, from somewhere under 50 millimeters. So I'm going to go about 40 millimeters, and I'm going to make a line that way. Again, the angle and distance of this line doesn't matter that much. And I'm going to select this line and mirror it according to my mirror line. And there we go. We can say okay to that, and we can just go ahead and delete this line. Now I'm going to select both of my lines holding Control, and I'm going to create a circular pattern with a center point in the middle. And let's make 5 of these, or we can make 6 of these. Let's make 6 of these and say okay. Now I have my star all mapped out. You can just create a circle, or you can create any line that you want, and we're gonna say finish this sketch. Now I'm gonna take this profile that I've created, and I want to extrude this up to 45 millimeters. And from here I'm gonna take this tool that's gonna taper the top of my extrusion, and I'm gonna drag it to about, let's say, that's a bit too much. I'm gonna go back a bit, and let's do it somewhere in between 25 and 30 degrees. I'm gonna say 27 degrees, maybe 28. Oops. 28 degrees. I think 28 should be fine. So let's press enter, and we have this shape. Now we want to hollow this object, so we're going to use the shell tool, and we're going to select this face, and we're also going to select this face. So we're going to select both of them, and I want the inside thickness to be around 0.60 millimeters. Okay, that 0.60 millimeters will give you 2 layers at the end. So when the 3D printer prints, you'll have 2 layers. Now the 2 layers, it's good enough to be steady, so it's not too flexible, and is very good for time as well. So if you make this shell thicker, then you will have 3 layers, and that would make this very strong, but also the time will increase significantly. So I'm aiming for a couple of hours to print, and I think a 0.6 shell would be perfect. Let's make a few more of these to create those layers inside. So I'm going to go to create a pattern, and I'm going to create a rectangular pattern. My object will be my body, and the axis will be the Z axis. And I want to go down, drag all of these down. Let's have a look from the back of it. And I'm looking at the top of this last pattern. So I can go all the way down. Let's have a look at the orthographic view. And my aim is that this top should be anywhere between 6 to 8 millimeters from this line. So because I know that the height of this object is 45 millimeters, I'm gonna go to 39 millimeters, so minus 39 millimeters. So I'm gonna go 39 millimeters, and the quantity is gonna be 14 of them. And maybe 14 is a bit too much. Let's go for 12 and see how that's gonna look like. And I think 12 is the lucky number. And we're gonna say okay to this. Now we have all these layers, and we need to cut a bit of the top and some from the bottom. So I'm gonna go to my initial sketch, select this profile, say finish sketch, and I'm gonna extrude that profile all the way down, and that's gonna cut all of these patterns. So it's gonna make a cut and get rid of everything that's underneath that pattern. Now we're gonna have to do the same about 6 millimeters high from this profile. For that, I'm gonna construct an offset plane, and I'm gonna offset it from, let's have a look at the origin, and I'm gonna offset it from the XY plane, and I will offset it by 6 millimeters. Okay. Now I have another construction plane right here, and I'm going to select this plane and create a sketch on that plane. And onto this sketch, I just want to create a rectangle that's going to incorporate my entire star. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be in the middle, it just has to be a rectangle that incorporates the whole star. And let's finish this sketch. Select this profile I've just made, this rectangle, and let's extrude this up and cut everything that we don't need from that. So let's go up and say okay to that. Now we have half of that fidget star, same like we did in the last video. So now we need to create a mirror copy of all of these objects and get the bottom section done as well. So let's create a mirror, and we're going to select our object, and the mirror plane will be the bottom of this. So let's select this plane as a mirror, and one click, and there we go. We have the entire fidget toy ready to be printed. But because you guys wanted a handle in the middle, I'm going to show you how I would create that. So this is a little trick that you guys may use in your future design. I don't really know which bodies are which unless I hover over them. You can see all of these bodies getting highlighted. So it depends where you hover your mouse, that body will be highlighted. So in my case, I want to highlight this body. So I know that it's going to be body number 12. And I'm going to go to body 12, select it, right click on it, and say isolate. So that will show me only this body. And the reason I want to see this body is just because it's easier to work on a single piece and then make everything else visible than to have everything around it. What I want to do with this body is I want to select all of these inside faces. So I'm going to go one by one, hold shift, and select all of the faces I can inside of this body. So there we go, we have all of the inside of this body selected. And from here, I'm just going to go to this tool called press and pull. And I'm going to press and pull everything towards the inside until I get a tiny, tiny little star here. And that should be fine. So now we have closed the top and we also close the bottom. And I think I forgot one of these faces. So I'm going to just take this and get this extruded by 2 millimeters. And we don't have to worry about this, but if you don't like that bar there, we can just create a sketch on top of this. And from here, we can just take a circle from the center point and go up to somewhere there. Press enter, finish the sketch. And now we can simply select this circle and select the star inside as well. And we're going to extrude this by up to here. And by default, we're getting a cut into it, but I want the operation to be join. So there we go. And now, if we want to, we could just select this circle and the star as well. And we can extrude this by 35 millimeters. And if we go back to this body and say unisolate, then you see you have a fidget star with a simple handle to play around with. So let's go to perspective, and there you have it. Now this is the simplest way to create a handle. I'm gonna hide this sketch. And there you have it. It's a very simple way to create a handle, but I would actually like to do something that's a bit more interesting than just straight handle. For that, I'm going to go Control Z, and Control Z again. And let's make all of these bodies visible again. And to make a more stylish, more interesting handle, let's have a look from the front point and go to orthographic. I'm going to create a sketch onto this plane this time. And onto this sketch, I want to create a line that's going to go about 3 millimeters to one side. I'm going to create another line that's going to go straight up 35 millimeters. And I'm going to go to that line again. And I'm going to go from there another 4 millimeters. There we have it. From here, I'm going to take a feed point spline and start from this point, go somewhere there, and then go to the bottom of this. That will give you a nice profile to play around with. So I'm going to select this profile and say finish sketch. And from this profile, I'm just going to revolve it around this axis. There we go. We have a pretty nice looking handle which goes on top of that last bit in the middle. So what I did different from my first video was to taper this when I extruded it. So I tapered it by minus 28 degrees. So that gives me the angle of this. And then at the very end, after I created everything, I offset all of these faces to create the full body in the middle. And then I've created another sketch that I've revolved around this axis. So that's the simplest and easiest way to create a handle onto this fidget star. I'm going to export all of this into Bamboo Studio, and let's have a look what kind of settings we're going to use to print this beautiful fidget star. So let's drag this fidget star onto my build plate and let's slice this. I'm going to change the filament to PLA silk because I'm going to print this toy into gold PLA silk, which I have loaded into my machine. And let's slice it and see by default with a 0.2 millimeter standard layer height. Let's see what we get and how long it's going to take to print. And that's going to be a total time of 1 hour and 18 minutes, which is a pretty good time for this. But I can see a few things I could fix. And one of them is going to be the seam position. So I'm going to go at seam position and I'm going to change from align to the back. And let's slice that again. So now we can see all the seams are at the back of this toy, which is going to be pretty neat when it's printed. After that, I'm going to change the wall generator from classic to Arachne. And I'm also going to strengthen it a bit. And I'm going to go wall loops 4. And I want to fix the top of this handle. So instead of monotonic line, I'm going to have top surface pattern as a concentric. That will give me a better look at the very top. So let's slice this again. And we have 1 hour 21 minutes of print. For a toy this size, I think that's a pretty good time. And let's see how it looks like. We have plenty of strength on there. And I think that should be fine. So let's activate the time lapse so you guys can see a smooth time lapse. And I'm going to slice this plate and send it to print and see how that comes out. There it is, ready printed. I think it looks really interesting, especially when you move it from side to side and the middle stays in one place. And if you want to make it bigger, then just scale up all the numbers I gave you and you can make one bigger very easy. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, share it with your friends, and that will help me make more interesting and practical videos for you guys. Also, let me know in the comment section below if you want to see anything done special to this print or any other ideas that you might have. I'm happy to make them if there is enough interest for them. Until the next one, enjoy designing and printing. Bye!